Hello everybody, I am Jeff, the Big Lizard. My name is Jeff, and I am a lizard, as you can clearly see. On the side I'm holding the hand up is 2 Red 2 Game, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Red. I never ran this category.
And on the side that I didn't hold I'm holding my hand up currently is Ali, and you're introduced.
Yeah, I'm Ali.
Right.
I've run Vanilla Dark Souls 2 before.
Ali has run vanilla Dark Souls 2 before, and now the introductions are out of the way. We're going to play some Dark Souls 2, Old Souls, Unrestricted, Skull of the First Sin. That wasn't the wrong order, but that's what we're going to do. From Software currently doesn't have servers for this game, but the game doesn't know that, so we will be here a little bit while the game figures out that it can't connect to the servers ever again. It'll finish any second now.
Any second now.
Hey, Jeff, why is it called Skull of the First Sin?
It's called almost. There we go. All right. Oh, there's a big button here. I assume I press that when I start the run. Okay. This is very professional. Right, we're gonna go now. Ali, can you press the button for me? It's different responsibility. All right. 3, 2, 1, and we are off.
Okay, it worked. Timer's running.
So the run begins by skipping 2 cutscenes and then running through an area. So, as you just saw, we have unequipped all our armor. This is something we'll do pretty frequently during this run because armor will increase your equip load, and when you have a higher equip load, you have slower stamina regeneration, and stamina regeneration lets you run fast, and running fast makes you go fast. So, we like to do that.
Yeah.
So coming up here, we do character creation, which is a bit weird. This is the, okay, right, one moment. Oh. Just a little thing in the keybinds there, but that's okay. We name our character 5 because that's my confirm button, so it saves an input. And then we choose the bandit starting class with the bonfire aesthetic. So, you're going to notice a little lag. Okay, so you're going to notice a little lag spike here. That is intentional because this is unrestricted, and that means we can do a few little shenanigans that you can't do in the boring restricted version. And one of those is using a piece of software called River Tuner to lower your game's FPS. And just there we use that to pick up an item from behind a cart that you would normally have to break the cart to get. It saves basically no time, but this tech will come in useful later, and it's good to get it over and shown now. Anyway, so this category, Old Souls Unrestricted, what does it mean? Well, basically, there are these 4 bosses in the game called the Old Souls. They're old, they got big souls, that's their deal, and we're gonna kill all of them and then beat the game. And that is the category. Unrestricted, meaning the shenanigans as previously stated. So, coming up, we're going to light this bonfire because we're going to need to come back here, and we're going to burn this cheeky little item here for reasons that will become apparent later on. So the reason we chose the Bandit starting class is 2 reasons. Number 1, Bandit has the bow, which is a very cool weapon that lets us do a cheeky little skip early on. And the second reason is the Bandit has the stats to use the Rapier, which is the best weapon in the game by a mile, and we would like to use that without having to level up. So Bandit all the way. This is why we want the Bandit. Got a cheeky door here where we're going to use some items and do some damage. So yeah, this door's just here every time. It's always a highlight of the run, waiting for the door. And then the door opens and we're off. And here you're going to observe, you're going to witness, you'll see with your eyes in your face the main piece of tech that is used in Dark Souls speedruns. And that tech is running straight past everything and completely ignoring them. This is 99% of the run. Everything else is just fluff.
And a really cool thing about Dark Souls 2 is that you have the auto run button. You don't even have to hold the sprint button to sprint. You just toggle it.
It is the best feature in any Souls game ever. This alone makes Dark Souls 2 the best game of all time.
Objectively.
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 I thoroughly agree.
I imagine people behind me are shouting, no, it's not, and I would just like you all to know that they're wrong. So, coming up here, we're going to want to climb this ladder, and these guys are going to want us to not climb this ladder, but we're going to climb the ladder anyway, unless they have other ideas. Thankfully, their ideas have failed, and I have come out victorious. There's an NPC in this room, and she sells a firebomb, which is something we're going to use for a cheeky little skip, cheeky little glitch very early on in the run. So we're going to take this bonfire, because we need to come back here. This guy is going to not do anything, because he can't. He's a loser. Toggle FPS again here, just to make this a bit easier. And yeah, that's bomb wall. Saves about 40 seconds, because you just blow up the wall. There's normally a shortcut that you would trigger from the other side by throwing a bomb at some barrels, but you can just throw it through the wall, and then the barrels blow up and the wall blows up, and then boom, you are on the other side of the wall. That is the speedrun. This tech coming up here is quite cool. It was discovered by a runner called Jean-Martin de Bergerac, pronounced properly, not like that. And the general premise is you line up like so, and you land on this guy's head, and it negates the fall damage.
Nice. Yeah, that was clean.
So yeah, here we are coming up to the first boss of the run. This is the last giant. He is he's a giant. There used to be more giants, now there's only one giant. Hence the last giant. So this is the first giant that we fight in this run. that is true, actually. At this point, when we get to half health, he's going to tear his armor because he's an idiot and doesn't realize that won't help him at all. But that lets us get quite a bit of free damage in, which is comfy. So yeah, this is a pretty simple boss. You just dodge the feet, and as we kill him, we're going to use this item called the Dark Sign. This will teleport us back to the bonfire and will make us lose all our souls. But because we used it so quickly, we lose our souls before we get the souls, and we warp and we keep the souls. And that's just clever. So we're going to buy some stuff here. I'll explain it in a moment if I can do my menuing, which I can't because I'm a child. And we're going to talk to this NPC because if we talk to them a lot, they'll A, give us an item, and B, move to a different area, and we want them in that area so that we can talk to them more later on. So the item that she just gave us is the Covetous Silver Serpent Ring +1. Nice and tight, short name for that. Basically, it's a ring. When it's equipped, we get more souls from killing dudes. More souls equals more money, and more money equals more speed, so we like that ring. Coming up here, we're coming up to possibly the hardest boss in the run. This is a very long fight. This could go any number of ways. Oh, whew, barely made it through that one alive.
Good job.
And yeah, there we go. So he drops a soul and this cool little ring called the Ring of Blades, and that gives us more damage. Over here, I'm skipping the cutscene, but basically a bird picked us up and carried us to this place. We will want to come back here later, so I'm taking this bonfire, but we don't want to be here now because it's, I don't know, it's kind of boring. I don't like it here. So we're going to go back to Majula, and we're going to spend these souls on some stuff. So we're going to just talk to her a little bit so that she doesn't talk to us more later. Open this door. See that blacksmith over there? He's an idiot, and he will only realize that he can enter his house when we rest at a bonfire. Unfortunately, we need him in his house because he sells weapons. Do a little cheeky little trick here where we use the soul while talking to him. And we're going to buy a rapier. 3 titanite shards to upgrade the rapier with, and we're going to get it to +2. We have the ability from just stuff he sells to get it to a +3. Unfortunately, I really love shields, so I'm going to come over to this guy over here, and I am going to buy 10 of these shields and 2 of these shields, because I'm a massive shield fan. Shields is yields. That's what I always say.
I mean, they are nice shields, to be fair.
Yep. The actual reason we're doing that is we need him to update his inventory, and he only does that if you spend more than 15,000 souls at him. So, yep, put the cat ring on, which we just bought here, and that will reduce fall damage, so we can drop down this pit. Use some life gems to heal up as we're falling down. This is a little bit tricky, but we are not fine at all. We got the meme roll. Brilliant game. Oh.
Luckily, this is the better version of the game, obviously. So the branch actually respawns.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. In vanilla, if you break that beam, it's gone forever, which is a great mechanic. Thankfully, we're not playing vanilla because I'm sensible. So that beam's going to be there, and we can try again. You only actually have 2 attempts at this because if it takes more than that, you won't have the health to survive this first drop. Because if you notice, every time I die, my maximum health decreases a smidge. So yes, we're going to. I don't need those souls because I'm going to use a dark sign at the end of this area anyway. And coming up here, there is a crystal lizard. Crystal lizards are little lizardy dudes that if you kill, they drop stuff. And as much as it pains me to do this, I am going to murder it. Okay, this is I've ballsed this up a little bit. I mean, marked.
Just as planned.
Anyway, we got the stuff. And we're now going to run past all these blokes that explode. And they're not going to explode me because I am too fast for them. And they cannot catch me. Just going to get a cheeky healing item here, just in case. It's useful for some bosses later on. Coming up, we're going to get a safety bonfire because there's a little jump we're going to go for, and it can be kind of dangerous. So if we miss it, then we have the bonfire so we can try again. And again. Yes, yes, Red, what is it you want to say?
Jump is named after you, so how can you fail it?
Exactly.
I cannot!
It's impossible to fail.
It's literally impossible. Anyone that has ever missed that in a run is bad at the game because it is literally impossible to fail. That's a joke. There are people that are good at. I've missed that. Anyway, moving on. We're gonna grab this item here. It's a fragrant branch of yore. It is useful for opening statues. That will make sense later, I promise. See this item here? It's a bright bug. We bought it from the merchant, and it will give us a whopping 20% damage and 20% damage resist for the next, I think it's a minute and a half. And we're going to use that for the boss that is coming up over here. We use it early because we get invaded by an NPC in this area. And the developers are absolute geniuses, and they decided that when you're invaded, you can't use these items. So we have to use it a bit early. Coming up here is our first Old Soul. That's the name of the category, Old Souls. This is the first one. His name's the Rotten. He's a big old pile of corpses with a cleaver. That's his deal. You fight this guy a lot in the restricted any % run, so it'll be really embarrassing if I die here, and he does not want to do attacks today for some reason. Okay, so if we whack his arm enough, we take the arm off, which is really awesome. So yeah. Now he should be a lot easier to fight because he has no range and no damage since he doesn't have an arm.
Well, technically, he could use the other arm.
He can, yes.
So
but
chooses not to.
Chose not to this time. We can use a homeward bone here, and we're going to go back to the bonfire that we just lit. And yeah, from here we're going to warp back to Majula. Here we're going to have one more menuing section, and after that there's quite a long running section where I'll hand it over to some donations. But first, just a little bit of menuing, bear with me. We're going to talk to this lovely lady here, and she's going to be like, yo, what levels do you want? And I'm going to say 14 Vigor and 24 Endurance. Thank you very much. The 24 Endurance is important because that is the sort of cap at which we get an extra attack with the rapier, and more attacks is good. And the 14 Vigor is just because it's quite nice to have, really. Don't need to explain everything I do. This NPC over here that sells the Bright Bugs, the big buff item, they refresh after every Lord we kill. So we're going to buy 2 more because their shop's refilled. And then we're going to come over here to the shopkeep. And he is now going to sell us the butterfly skirt, which is going to come in handy. And just to thank him, we're going to murder him.
It's quite rude.
Yeah, so this guy, lovely gent, great bloke. Unfortunately, his armor gives us more souls, and I like souls. So I'm going to murder him in cold blood.
Seems like pretty logical reasoning to me.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say sorry. Just run over here, and we're going to head over to the next area. This is a good time for some donations, if we have any.
We do indeed, thank you. We have a $50 donation from Lexico Engine that says, take my life gems. You got a lovely inventory full of them there, so plenty of life gems to it. Also putting that donation towards the Hades 3-weapon bonus run, which is to beat Jaren, and that's no mean feat. So if you want to see the runners take on one of the super bosses in Hades, or the super boss, get your donations in for that.
So that's the statue that I said we would open. It's actually a woman that's disguised as a statue. They're cheeky like that. These statue disguises. And when we do that, we're going to get harassed by these blokes. But we just throw a skull, and they'll be like, ooh, I like a skull. Skulls are nice. And they're going to go follow that instead of me. I put the armor piece thingy on there because it gives me like 60 extra souls when I kill him. And that in turn means I can get 1 extra buff item at the shop we're coming up to. This area is quite long and a little bit dull. It's mainly just running past these ugly goblin-looking fellas. And they're not going to hit me because they're really bad at hitting me. So yeah, just skippity-scoop and they will never hit me. Coming up here, there's another bonfire. This bonfire is pretty instrumental because it leads to 3 areas that are all mandatory for finishing this category, so we're going to come back here plenty of times during the run. There's a cool little feature in Scholar where in this area there are some invisible blokes that will want to kill me. However, if I shoot this tree, the tree will make a funny noise, and they'll suddenly think, I like that funny noise, and they'll just keep whacking the tree to hear the funny noise, and they will leave me alone. I know it sounds like I'm joking. That is an actual mechanic. That is actually what is happening here. So we're going to talk to this head, and in his beautiful Yorkshire accent, he is going to tell us that he's a head, and then he's going to sell us some buffs, and then we're going to walk away, and we're going to never talk about him again. So this area is kind of hard to navigate because you can't see anything. However, I am a genius, and I have memorized a path through these woods that will take us to a cool item. What cool item is that, I hear you cry? What cool item is it, Jeff? The item is the Chloranthil ring +1. This item is awesome. It's a ring, and it gives us extra stamina regeneration. Wow, that means we can run faster. Well, no, we run the same speed, but we run more often. Yes, thank you, Red. Took the words right out of my mouth, you thief. So, we're going to equip these buffs. These are resins. They will apply damage to our weapon. That means they will put the lightning-y effect on the weapon. The weapon will become lightning-y, and then that will mean we do more damage to the bosses because it's lightning-y. We have a lightning-y weapon. I have no idea where I'm going with this. Point is, having more damage and a lightning-y weapon is faster for pretty much all the bosses in this run, which is why we like having these resins here. Killing dudes. So this is a boss. This is the Scorpioness Najka. She is a scorpion, as you will see in a moment. Yep, big old scorpion behind, and we're just going to whack her with the rapier until she dies. This could take a while, it will take not very long at all. You'll notice we're going to try and stay around this area of her body, and that's because she has these very nice and easy to dodge tail attacks that we want to bait out, as opposed to the not so nice, harder to dodge front pincer claw attacks that we don't like. But yeah, she has now been defeated. We put the armor on there to get extra souls, and then we took it off again to reduce our equip load. That's just how we roll in the Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, Old Souls Unrestricted speedrun. Gonna equip this weapon that I bought from the blacksmith. It's a mace. The appeal of the mace is that it has a swing attack that hits the floor. And the reason we want to hit the floor is that we have some more crystal lizards to get rid of for their for their useful loot. This one up here is going to drop 3 large titanite. What's the word?
Shards?
I'm actually just shards. Thank you.
Um,
This is why I keep you around. So this lizard will drop 3 large titanite shards, and those are useful for upgrading our weapon. Oh, that was a close one. Almost fell off the ledge. But I did not, and neither did the lizard. And that means we are A-OK. It's very inconvenient if you miss that one, because there are 2 sort of safety shards you can get that don't lose you much time. But that one drops 3, which means you have to go quite a ways out of your way to get a 3rd one and level up your weapon to +10, which you may imagine we want to have our weapon at because it does more damage. You'll see there that I've just equipped a shield, and that is because we are coming up to the first major glitch of the run. Yeah. Very exciting, I know. Only like 20 minutes in, and we're already there. So I'm going to shoot this guy so that he will walk over here to try and attack me. And when he tries to attack me, I will parry him. And then I will jump over him, and now I can fly. I am in the air. So while I'm in the air, I'm going to explain a little bit how this works. Basic premise, you parry a guy, they fall over. You then have the opportunity to do a very cool epic attack. The game then, okay, so when you do the attack, if you jump at the same time, the game breaks, and you can sort of walk around in the air, and your position will be locked. I died.
Well.
So you're not supposed to do that. That's an interesting death. I just had a little bit of weird momentum coming out of the thing, which means I can explain it again. Woo! Someone else explain it, because I'm doing a really atrocious job at it.
Okay. Basically, when you parry an enemy, you can repost him, and then you are stuck in this repost animation, where he lies on the ground, and you just launch your rapier into them. So if you jump while attacking, the enemy is stuck in this state where he is like accepting your input of the rapier. And you are, well, locked to the height of this enemy, because the game is like you're reposting him at the moment, so you're at a height, at a place, but you're not at a place, but you are at a height. Okay, I'm also terrible at this.
It's not easy. It's not easy. Important thing. Parry guy, wear trousers, jump over them, fly for 30 seconds.
Exactly. That's also
it
why
lasts for exactly 30 seconds, and this is important.
Why we need the butterfly pants, because you cannot jump out of standing. You actually have to run to jump normally in this game.
Right.
But with the butterfly pants, you can do that, and then we can do the clutch.
So another crystal lizard here that I'm going to brutally kindly ask for his goods. And over here there are 3 more resins. These are fire resins instead of lightning resins, and they're going to come in handy because some bosses dislike fire more than they dislike lightning.
Arachnophobia warning for anyone who doesn't like spiders.
Yeah, if you don't like spiders, just leave. There's a lot of spiders for a while. Come back in like 15 minutes. There will be no spiders.
You're not very confident.
Yeah, no. I may be a tad bit worried that I might die while attempting to kill this spider. Only a tad bit worried, not like a lot bit worried, just a tad. So hopefully nobody's going to attack me while I try and open these doors. splendid. That means that this should be free enough. Run over here, chuck a skull. All the spiders and blokes are going to go like, ooh, I love a skull, I do. Cheeky skull on a Thursday with the boys. And then you kill this spider guy and you climb the ladder before they can get back and harass you. And I barely made it up there. Gonna heal up. Use this buff item. Use this buff item. Get some alluring skulls on the hotbar because they're going to come in very handy in just a second. And we're going to head down to the next lord, which is the Duke's Dear Freya. And spoiler alert, it's a massive spider. I'm going to chuck this skull here so the spiders will be like, ooh, I love a skull. I'm going to stop doing this bit. And while they're thinking about how much they love a juicy skull, we're going to break their skulls with a rapier. Okay, he's just whacked me, and I'm going to be like, oh, I don't like being whacked, I'm going to heal up. This fight can take a while. You may be thinking, why am I not just attacking the boss? The answer is this boss is bad, and you can only hit it on its head, and even that's quite difficult. This attack's pretty tough to dodge, but if you do, you can get 2 hits in, which is quite pleasant. That attack is very bad to get hit by because it will absolutely murder your movement speed. Okay, I'm really not doing very well here, but that's okay. You know, sometimes life is like a pot of stew. Sometimes there's good bits, the potatoes, and sometimes there's bad bits, the carrots. And this is the carrot. And that's alright, because the stew at the end is still good.
Wow, what a beautiful metaphor.
Yeah, you come here for speedrunning and you get important life advice. Oh, okay, I'm going to make sure I equip the armor that gives me loads of souls here. I've got to make sure to pick this thing up off the ground, because that's the actual soul. The boss actually doesn't have the soul. The thing on the ground is what has the soul, which is kind of funny. But yeah, now 2 lords down, and now we're going to deviate a little bit. We're going to go back to Majula, and we're going to spend these this handsome bounty of souls we have just acquired on getting some new level ups and upgrading our rapier. In that area, you may have noticed we killed a lot of lizards and picked up some items, and we did that so that we can level up this this weapon to a +10. Okay, we're going to do that. Then we're going to talk to this lovely lady over here again. And she's going to say, what levels do you want? I will say 20 vigor, please. 12 adaptability. And as much endurance as I can squeeze in, which is 37. And then we're going to head back. Actually, I am going to do a cheeky little deviation here. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to purchase a human effigy. This item will undo all the deaths that I've had and make my health back to normal again. Which, yeah, quite nice. Quite nice to have. But yeah, we're actually going to head back to this bonfire and do a cheeky skip. So normally, the way the game works is you kill the 4 lords, you go through this big door called the Shrine of Winter, you kill 4 more bosses. After those 4 bosses, you get this item called the King's Ring, which opens these massive doors that you're going to see up here. However, because we can fly, we don't need this silly little ring, do we? So what we're going to do is get over this door. Now this skip you can only do in Scholar, and the reason for that is that there's a guy here, and there isn't in Vanilla, and it just makes it completely impossible to do in Vanilla.
Yeah, so in Vanilla any % current patch, you actually have to go get
All
the
the way
King's
around.
Ring.
And that's why Scholar's so much faster, for 8%. The more you know. Okay, there we go, we got the parry walk. What we're going to do here is we're going to just walk up a ledge. So because gravity's kind of a little bit messed up, we can just sort of walk into even the very steepest of ledges, and, oh, this is going to be tight. And we can just get over them.
There we go.
And we're going to get some alluring skulls over here. So you may have noticed, it was a blink and you miss it moment. We actually had to toggle our FPS at the very top there to get over, and that's the other. So yeah, should have explained the flying glitch. That's what makes this category unrestricted. You can't do that in restricted. It's the FPS stuff and it's the flying. Those are the only differences.
Yeah, but it basically changes the whole run, obviously,
Yeah.
because being able to fly is very different to not being able to fly.
Yeah, as you can imagine, flying is pretty overpowered. That skip is the probably the most important skip in the run. I think it saves us like at least 12 minutes just by not having to kill the 4 bosses you would do otherwise. But yeah, we're going to take a safety bonfire up here for 2 reasons. One is that I'm very likely to die at the next skip. It's the hardest skip in the run, I think. And the second reason is that I need to light a torch, and I need fire to light a torch. And bonfires provide ample sources of fire. The more you know. So, why do I need a torch, I hear you all cry? And I will answer that question. Be more patient, please. I'm getting to that. The reason we need a torch is that, as you may have noticed, to fly, we need an enemy that we can parry. And in this area, there aren't many. However, the developers have this weird side quest where you can light these sconces and it will summon guys that will try and kill you. And we're going to intentionally summon one just so that we can parry walk him. So that's why we got that torch over there. We're going to hope he doesn't kill us, but we're also going to hope he follows us so that we can use him for the parry walk. The reason we're baiting him all the way over here is because we need him higher up. We need him at this sort of height over here in order to do the next skip. And he's got caught on the ogre, which can happen. It's just bad luck. And that's just bad luck as well. You're so cool. You're doing all the attacks that I can't parry. Thank you so much. I love this game. This game's the best game. And finally does something I can actually do something about. And there we go. We are flying. Now, unfortunately, he was on the bridge when we parry walked him. This is important because if he's just before the bridge, when we land on this next bridge, the parry walk will break and we can walk straight on. But because he was on the bridge, there's going to be an invisible wall here, and we're going to have to wait the 30 seconds to get through. And while we wait, we can get a donation.
Thank you very much. We got a $20 donation from Fiber that says, Dark Souls 2 is a pretty cool guy and doesn't afraid of everything. Not at all. Not afraid.
Excellent. So we're going to get ready for the next boss while we're on this here lift. I think that's everything we need. We're going to collect an item up here from the woman that's in Majula, who's also here for some reason. It's called the Aged Feather. It's basically a homeward bone that you can use forever. That rhymed. Aged Feather used forever?
Yes.
I should become a poet.
Yeah, you should, Jeff.
But anyway, we're going to get that because I had to use a bone earlier where I wasn't supposed to, and that means I need another way to use a bone. So we're going to collect the Aged Feather and use that instead. And then we're going to take a bonfire and we're going to do the Dragon Airy. Now, the Dragon Airy is the hardest area in the game. I know you're thinking, okay, you said the Pursuer was the hardest boss and then he was pretty easy. But this time I'm not winding you up. This is actually the hardest area in the game, okay? So you're all going to have to hold your breath. I'm going to need complete silence. I need to completely focus for this area. Okay. And we've made it through. Whew. Well, that was a close one.
Yeah, that was a good job, Jeff.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that definitely the biggest reset point in most runs. I think you're lucky if you get 5% of your runners through there.
It's very hard to not
Yeah.
let go too early to save half a second.
Was it Rekneps that lost a run to
yeah,
that?
it was right
Yeah, so you can, as you may have noticed, we let go of the rope slightly before we got to the end. And there was one run where a fellow runner called Rekneps Legs, absolute legend, great guy.
Shoutouts.
Yeah, shout out to him. He did that a little bit too early on a very comfy PB pace, and he fell into the void and died. An unfortunate death.
Yeah, it's a very tragic clip.
Yeah. Possibly the most tragic moment in Dark Souls 2 history. I can't think of anything more tragic. Can you?
Yes, actually.
Oh, go on, tell the story.
When the community decided it's a smart idea to allow FPS toggling.
Okay.
I have to agree. I'm going to agree with you on that, Red.
Right. Moving on, we're going to jump past these guys. This is another strat found by Jean-Martin de Bergerac. Great guy. Too bad he doesn't play the game anymore. But he did find that, and that's pretty awesome. We're going to use this feather while we talk to this dragon, and this dragon is going to give us, I cannot talk, the Ashen Mist Heart, which is an item. What does the Ashen Mist Heart do? I hear you cry. I'm going to stop doing this bit as well in the future. What the Ashen Mist Heart does is it lets you enter the memories. And what are the memories? I hear you cry. I lied! I lied to your faces. I was going to do the bit again. You'll see.
You're a
Be
terrible
patient.
human.
So, there are these trees in the Forest of Fallen Giants where giants died. Or fell, you could say. Fell. And they have a sort of memory in them. And the item lets us go in here. And in here is the boss, the giant lord. And he is in possession of an item that is required to beat the game. I should point out we've done a little bit of a sequence break here, where we've killed 2 of the old souls, and we are now killing what would normally be the third to last boss in the run. And then we're going to go back and kill the other 2 old souls. So yeah, that's going to be a bit cheeky. You just come into this little cubby, buff your weapon, he doesn't hit you, and then you can charge over and start whacking him. And always hit him, and you never whiff your attacks, because only a fool would do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to try and bait out this attack, because it's quite easy to dodge and punish. Basically just going to stand behind this foot, and then hope he does the little swing. If not, the other attack is still pretty easy, but you can't punish them as much. Come on, okay, nope, doesn't fancy it. Fair enough, you know, I'm not your boss. I'm just the guy that's trying to kill you. I can completely understand why you wouldn't listen to me. Still kind of hurts, though, but I do get it. So, yeah, after we've whacked this tall fella, we're going to head straight back to Majula to spend this bounty of souls that we have just acquired from whacking a very tall giant. So we're going to run over here to Merlincha, that's her name, buy 3 bright bugs, some healing items, and 1 more safety human effigy. And then we've got a bit of a run ahead of us down to an area called, I've actually just forgotten the name of the area. Begins with a
Heide's
H.
Flower of Tank. Heide's Tower of Flame.
Heide's Tower of Flame. And while we're heading over there, we can have a donation.
Thank you. We have a $5 anonymous donation that says, I'm really appreciating this speedrun. Not only is it interesting to see Dark Souls 2 played this way, but this runner is really helping me overcome my crippling fear of big lizards. Thanks, Jeff.
It's always good to know that someone's been able to get over their fear of large lizards and come to appreciate them for the beautiful animals they are. I love lizards, all lizards. Yeah.
Even small lizards.
Even small lizards, you know, I prefer the big ones, but the small ones, they've got their own little quaint charm to them. So, in this area, there is an NPC that can open a door for us, and we want to talk to her. And to do that, we're going to get there a bit faster by doing some flying, as you may imagine. Okay, I missed that because I'm an idiot. But I won't miss it again. I didn't. I really thought I was going to, I will be honest. But anyway, you can see, if you look kind of over there, there's a big guy in that room. That's the Dragon Rider. He's a boss you'd normally kill. But it actually saves us 30 seconds to not kill him and just fly around and up these stairs. Up the apple and pears, as you would say, in Cockney rhyming slang. Fun little Cockney rhyming slang fact for you there. So we're going to just talk to her, exhaust her dialogue, basically have a nice chit-chat, and yeah, walk away, because it's faster than saying goodbye, and then bone straight back to the area we were in.
Irish goodbye.
Now that we're back here, we can talk to this lovely lady again, and she's going to say, what do you want? And I'm going to say, all the endurance you can offer me, which gets me up to 50, which is important because 50 is the threshold for getting one more attack with our rapier. So yeah, we're going to come back down here, but this time the NPC we just spoke to is going to have moved and will be present here, willing to offer us a hand with this contraption for the low price of 2,000 souls. Fun little bit of tech you can do here. If you jump and then accept the offer, we can just wander around while she does it instead of having to sit through a long and boring animation. I don't think I need to equip any of this. Yep, so we're just going to run up this little bit, and that gives us a cheeky little bit of time for a donation.
We got a $10 donation from Asher that just says, "Oh my God, it's my favorite streamer."
Ah, good old Asher. That was my first ever viewer, Asher. So, great bloke. Yeah, that's the fun Asher fact for the stream.
Did you have more fun Asher facts?
Asher is very good at chess, and once I got him to pretend to be me and beat another Dark Souls 2 and a pseudo-stripey at chess so that I could feel better about myself.
Fair enough.
There we go, that's an actually fun fact. So yeah, as you can see, in this area we're going to be doing a little bit more flying. Just going to whack that guy over, jump over him, and fly through this area. We're going to try and not hit anything that's going to make us load in here, because then there's going to be more enemies and they are a hassle to deal with, to say the least. But when we walk into a slope over here, we will load in, and that will be pleasant, because we need to load in to do another parry walk. That's the name of the glitch. I don't think we ever said that. It's called a parry walk. You can probably understand why, because you parry the guy, and then you walk in the air. Some runners may refer to it as a party walk. There's a very complicated reason for this. Basically, a runner called Doom misspelt it once, and we thought that was funny. Shout out to Doom if you're watching. That was pretty funny. So yeah, we're gonna just party walk this guy, and then walk all the way over here, where we can load back in, and we're gonna do another party walk. So in this area, there's a cheeky boss called the Skeleton Lords. Not a very difficult boss, but a very tedious and long one. So what we would much rather do is walk around them in the sky. And to do that, we're going to enlist the help of my best mate, Merciless Rowena, who is going to attack me and not roll. Oh. 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 Oh, wow. Oh, this is a bit bad. Merciless Rowena, would you please come over here and give me an attack I can parry? That would be much appreciated. You are actually the worst, aren't you? You are just awful. Oh, look at you hiding behind your tree. I hate her. But now we are done, and we are parry walking. There we go. A little bit lower than normal, but that shouldn't matter. But, yeah, we're going to just sort of glitch over this wall here. Follow this line here. You may be thinking, why are we not just walking to the end of this tunnel? The reason is there's a massive invisible wall that we have to walk around. I've remembered where it is, but you're just going to have to trust me that it's there. I'm not having you on. There is actually an invisible wall there. And we're going to land on this invisible bridge. And then when we fall off the invisible bridge, it becomes a visible bridge. And we have now entered the next area, which is Harvest Valley. That's the name of the area. I am bad with names, and also Dark Souls, but don't tell anyone, because they all think I'm good. That's my cheeky little secret. Anyway, we're just going to jump off here. We're going to do another out-of-bounds glitch here, except this one, instead of party walking an enemy, we're just going to rely on the fact that developers forgot to add collision to a wall, and yeah, this is the greatest tool in the speedrunner's arsenal, is developers forgetting to do stuff. So we're just going to jump into this rock, and now we are out of bounds again. So, remember when I said earlier in the run that almost every enemy was faster to kill with the resins? Well, here we have the exception, and that's the Covetous Demon. Now, the Covetous Demon is such a pushover that it is actually slower to use the resin, like the 2-second animation, to buff your weapon than it is to just whack him more. So we're not going to waste a resin on him, and we're just going to wallop him. Here he is. Some runners will refer to him as Jabba. I think that's a reference to Star Trek. Not really sure. I don't get it. Looks a bit like a slug, doesn't he? Anyway, he's dead now. Dead and buried. Well, he's not buried. He just kind of disappears. But he's dead. By my hand. I'm going to light this bonfire here in case I die up here, which is likely because we're coming up to quite a difficult boss now, which is Mitha the Baneful something.
Queen.
Baneful Queen, thank you. And Mitha's not actually a particularly difficult boss, but there's one little problem, and that is that she lives in a pool of poison. Now, there's a cool mechanic you can use where you light a torch on fire and burn that windmill and all the poison will evaporate and the fight's a lot easier, but that's slower than not doing that. And as speedrunners, we are not allowed to waste any time, so we're going to fight her in the poison, which is going to be a little bit tougher, but should be quite fast. We're going to use the charcoal pine resin here because she's weaker to fire, and we're going to equip these radiant life gems we've been collecting to counteract the poison. This bloke here, he is a not very nice fella, and he will chase us if we don't kill him, so we're going to kill him. And then we're going to run through here, and these guys aren't going to catch me in this fog wall, and we're going to enter the fight, and we're going to kill her first try, and it's all going to be splendid.
Good plan.
That's not a great opening, but that's not great either. Oh well, we'll give her a wallop. This is a good attack though, because you can just really go to town. And yeah, basically just finish her on that one alone. So that was convenient. Yep, we've got a bit of an elevator coming up here, so if you want to read a donation out, we have a little bit of time.
Thank you. We have a $20 donation from Tatters. It doesn't say anything, but it's putting it towards that bonus run for Hades to try and beat Sharon there. Is it Sharon? Is it Karen? I can't remember.
I don't know. I've not played Hades.
Well, there we go then on that one. But yeah, that is coming in there. Just want to let you all know as well, we are over $6,000 at the moment here, which is really, really good. Please do keep your donations coming in because we want to get as much as we can for Save the Children here. And the elevator's over, so I'm going to be quiet and give it back to the run.
Excellent. So this area is the Iron Keep, and this area sucks. No one likes it. It's long, it's difficult, but thanks to the developers leaving a little bit of wall open, we can parry walk the entire length of the area. If we just parry this guy, who is very easy to parry. I've never missed a parry on this enemy. And there we go. So yeah, as you can see, there's a wall here. There is no way that we could possibly just walk through that wall. That would be ridiculous. Oh my! Oh, who could have seen this coming?
Very shocked right now.
From Software forgetting to put collision on a wall that no one can ever reach? How dare they? Anyway, yep. We've got to wait 30 seconds now for the parry walk to wear off, and it does. Coming into this boss, this is the third lord, the Old Iron King. He is basically that guy from Lord of the Rings. And he starts quite far away, so we're going to just buff in the boss fight while we wait for him to come over towards us. Oh. Oh, that's not good.
Bit confident on the laser there.
Yeah. Everyone pretends you did not see that. I'm sure that nobody is going to admit to seeing that ever again. Right, this is already not my proudest fight with the Old Iron King. Oh well, should be okay. This is like a 6 cycle or something. This is absolutely atrocious. But there we go. Dead now.
Yeah, it's all that matters.
just because I can, I'm going to be incredibly peachy here. And I'm going to go back to Majula to buy some, what are they called? Bright Bugs, buff item. And the reason for that is that the last boss of this run is probably going to kill me because nothing else has yet. And if they do, it's a right faff to get more of these. So, oh no. Right, so, fun little mechanic. These trousers poison everything, including friendly NPCs, so you really don't want to have them on while you talk to friendly NPCs. Right, remember that area I said earlier we didn't like, so we're going to come back later? We're now coming back. This is later. And here is where I think the coolest skip in the run is.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, that's also basically a reference to Beat the Record Live Dark Souls Remastered.
Is it?
Yes, because for some reason I talked about being able to slide down ladders forever in these two. So yeah, Argic, I think you were there. You will now see.
Right, so we're going to try and explain the ladder tech that we're going to use here. And by we, I mean Ali, because I'm too lazy to.
What was it you wanted me to explain again?
How ladders work.
Okay. So, as far as I understand it, basically, when you run into walls in this game, when you're parry walked, your actual character position is different from what it appears on screen. So you can actually change your actual character position. And I think that's what allows this skip to work. The skip we're going to see in a minute. But I could be wrong. Not that knowledgeable on the actual workings behind parry walk.
Yeah, so basically when you walk in a wall, the game stores an extra position of where you should be. Normally this doesn't matter, except when you have a ladder, because when you get on a ladder, the game will take you to the position you should be at. And there's this fun little thing where if your position you should be at is lower than the bottom of the ladder, the game will never think, he shouldn't be on a ladder anymore, and will let you descend the ladder infinitely. And you're going to see this right here. I'll walk into this ladder a bit to get to the right spot. And yeah. We've got quite a long ladder ahead, so if we want a donation, we can get one. No, that's all right then. And here we are in the Sinner's Rise, where we will find the last old soul, which is the lost sinner that I have found. So, not really that lost, is she? Just saying. It's like a bit of a... I don't know. Shouldn't really call yourself the lost sinner when you're so easy to find, you know? That's my opinion.
That's a good point.
But yeah. Pseudo Strifey, great runner, once told me the trick to lost sinner is to give her absolutely zero respect. And I really take that to heart. So you just whack her. Sometimes you roll if you fancy it. But you can really just whack this boss with this much damage and she'll be absolutely fine. I might be about to die. That's okay though, because I have practiced this boss and I know how to kill her.
Good job.
There
Jeff.
we go.
Very disrespectful.
So now that we've killed the 4 lords, and also conveniently early in the run done the other stuff required to beat the game, we can kill the last 2 bosses and beat the game. So to do that, we're going to head back to the Ruined Fork Road, 3rd time this run, and we're going to go down the 3rd fork in the Ruined Fork Road, which is this fork, the 3rd one. So because we've killed the 4 lords, the door over here is going to open up for us. There is a skip you can do to skip this door. I'm not going to. I'm too lazy.
Would it save time?
Would it save time? If you land it first try, it saves 12 seconds. The problem is it's difficult to land first try, and if you try it any longer after that, you're basically losing time.
Those falconers are really difficult to parry.
They are a massive faff to parry. It's not.
Falconers are like the most broken enemy in the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their eye is
You would know
something
red.
else.
You would know red better than
yeah.
anyone.
Speaking of falconers, there's a category where you kill lots of falconers, isn't there, to your head?
There is indeed. It's called All Achievement.
You want to tell us about it, Red, a bit?
Do you want to tell us a fun fact about another ESO runner, Catalyst, and his relationship with Dark Souls 2 All Achievements, to your head?
Oh yeah, so funny story. So he made a bet that if he misses these 1 Toki bombs on record pace, he will run these 2 all achievements. And he missed firebombs, and it was on the 7th of January 2019. And we have not seen this all achievement run yet, but we can still hope.
Yeah, we're still waiting to this day.
Yeah.
With bated breaths.
So, if anyone sees Kata around, feel free to remind him that he needs to run DS2AA at some point. or don't. But yeah, coming up to the last skip of the run, quite a simple one. Just gonna parry this guy, land the parry walk first try because I'm awesome. Stand up, please. We're gonna land the parry walk second try because I'm awesome. We're gonna land the parry walk third try because I'm awesome. And there we go.
You're so awesome,
Right.
Jeff.
God gamer.
Yeah, so in this area, there's a big door that takes you to the final boss. It's a similar big door to the one that we kind of walked over earlier in the run. But conveniently, you can just sort of walk around the area and you'll come out on the other side of the big door, which you will see in a moment when I'm in. So if I just stop here, it fall. There's the big door. We're on the other side of the big door. That's the last skip. Now, all that's left is a long run to the last boss and the last boss. So while we're running down this path, if there's any donations you want to read out before the end, feel free.
We do. We got a $10 donation from I'm64 that says, "Go kill the big baddies, Jeff, and beat Dark Souls 2 fast. Good luck." And then a question for you from an anonymous $5 donation that says, "How miserable would you be if you couldn't just run past every enemy in a Souls game?"
So I would be a lot happier because nobody would ever run these games if you had to kill every enemy, and that would mean I could do so much more with the time I've spent playing this game. I could learn to make sourdough, could learn a language, could take up bouldering. Just so much more fulfilling things than playing Dark Souls 2.
That's honestly the best answer you could have given, Jeff.
So you may have seen there that I intentionally took a bit of damage before this boss. The reason for that is so that when I enter the boss, I can use a healing item immediately, and then if I get whacked, I'm going to be healing the entire boss fight, and I'm not going to die here because I'm awesome. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, should I? I should not have said that. I'm going to die here because I'm awesome. Oh wait, I am. No, I'm too awesome to die here. No, leave me alone, leave me alone. Okay, this has gotten a little bit out of hand. Okay, I just hit the boss there. Okay, now that we've killed one, this should be a doddle, a walk in the park. A quite difficult park, but still a park. Thankfully, because we got the extra bright bugs, we can refresh it before the next boss starts.
Nice.
There we go. So we're gonna refresh our resin, refresh our bright bug, refresh our health, and the last boss is Nashandra, and she's rather anticlimactic, as you'll see. Essentially, the trick to this boss is to use life gems constantly. And this should bait out a beam attack, which you can punish really easily, like this. There's two ways to bait the beam attack. The first way is to use life gems at certain points during her recovery animations, and the second way is to just scream "BEAM!" really loud and hope she listens to you. So as you can see, the life gem didn't work there, but shouting "BEAM" absolutely did. Which is just complete evidence.
It's the 100% guaranteed way to get
exactly.
beams.
Yep. That's another pseudo stripey strat. And there we go.
Nice.
We have beaten the last boss. Cool little flame of light's going to appear here, which we're going to interact with. And then we hit the button, and that is time. There we go.
Good job, Jeff. Sub 1 as well.
Sub 1. Insane. That's 10 minutes ahead of estimate. Sorry.
Oh, and your setup took long enough.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks everyone for watching. I've been JeffTheBigLizard. This has been 2 Red and Ali, and that was pretty epic. Shout out to my parents who are watching. They're awesome. Literally wouldn't be here without them.